Hi everyone, it's Mr. Lauber here, and this is just a quick video reviewing some different kinds of transformations. And before I get into this review, I want to just show you that if you go to the Classwork tab in Google Classroom and find Unit 4 Transformation should be right at the top, and go to Transformation Resources, this has a link to different resources that we have used in class and that can help you review. So this first one is a kaleidoscope that we did on the past two classes. This second one is a transformations review, and this is what I would recommend you go to if you get stuck, if you watch this video and you still want more practice. So it's a Desmo, so you do have to sign in. I'm just going to continue straight to it. And it takes a second to load, but it's going to right away take you to a place where you can make a shape. So you can make any shape you want. I'm just going to drag a quick shape here. And in the rest of this video, I'm going to be showing you different kinds of transformations. So a transformation is when you take a shape, you take a figure, and you transform it so that it looks different. Usually we have a shape on the coordinate plane. You can see we've got the y-axis going up and down, the x-axis going side to side, and we're going to look at different things that we can do to these shapes and learn a word for each kind of transformation. So once you've made a shape you're happy with, you can go back and change this later. You can just click Next. And this first slide is a rotation. It gives you a quick definition. Below is a rotation. A rotation is when a figure is turned or rotated. So anytime you have a figure that's spinning around or turning in some way, that's a rotation. And you can watch an example of a rotation with the shape that you made right here. So in this case, we've got a rotation that's taking a shape and turning it, in this case, about 90 degrees. It's turning it onto its side. We would say that this rotation is counterclockwise because a clock goes around in circles this way, but this rotation is going the opposite direction of a clock. So this is a rotation. It's a quarter circle rotation, 90 degrees. And you can watch it different times. You can go back and make a different shape and see what that looks like when it's rotated. But this is one of the most common kinds of transformations. Then we have a reflection. So here, a reflection, you probably have a sense of what it looks like. It's when an image is flipped or mirrored. So in this case, we're going to reflect across the y-axis. So when I press this button, you're going to see it get flipped across the y-axis. Whatever was on this side gets flipped to the other side. Whatever was on the other side gets flipped back. So you can see at first this point was going towards this side. Now the point is going towards this side. So it's just taking something and flipping it to the other side. It's like what you see when you look in a mirror. So this is a reflection. And you could reflect across different lines as well. You could have a reflection that goes down across the x-axis. So there's different kinds of reflections, but this is just one very common kind. Next, we've got a translation. This is a word you may not have heard before, at least not in this context. You probably think translation and think, oh, I'm going to translate something from Spanish to English or from French to Japanese. But in this case, a translation is when a figure is moved or slides around. So if you watch this, the figure is not getting bigger, it's not getting smaller, it's not turning, it's not getting flipped around, it's just moving from one spot to another spot. And that's what a translation is. So in math and in geometry, when we say translation, we just mean a figure that moves from one spot to another. And last but not least, a dilation. So below is a dilation. A dilation is when a figure gets bigger or smaller. So this is the only kind that actually changes the size of the shape. In this case, this dilation makes it bigger. So big it goes off the screen. A dilation might not make it that big, it might make it smaller, so there's different kinds of dilations. But whenever a figure gets bigger or smaller, that's a dilation. You could have transformations that first you do a dilation, you make it bigger, and then you flip it around. So it could be a dilation and then a reflection. But in this case, I just want you to get comfortable recognizing each of these four different kinds of transformations. Finally, there's this little matching game if you've gone through this and you want to review. So remember, a translation is when a figure is moved or slides around. So right here, we can see this gray figure just moved to become this red figure. Then we've got a reflection when a figure is mirrored or flipped. So here it is. This one was flipped across the y-axis. A rotation, of course, is when something turns around. And a dilation, remember, is when a shape gets bigger or smaller. So these are the correct matches. And and the 4 different types of transformations that we will be talking about and studying in this unit. I hope that's helpful. If you have questions, if you're confused on these words, let me know. Remember, it might be helpful to jot down a few notes, but you can also always go back into this transformation resources, click this transformations review. It will take you right to this activity that I've been doing. You can watch all of the animations again in case you ever forget. I hope that's helpful. Have a great day. Bye.